My dad was a special police officer in the Vietnamese government. After Saigon fell on April 30th, 1975, my dad was imprisoned in a refugee camp.
I left Saigon when I was 18, the same age my daughter is now.
He was there for 8 years, and it was a lot more than the average that people stayed. The people that he got to know there were released before his 8 years were over.
It's been 42 years, but it seems just like yesterday. Everything is still crystal clear. Feeling is pain, sadness, confusion, and fear, but the hope for freedom helped us overcome it all.
I'd rather die at sea than to live with the Viet Cong. This is one of the quotes that my dad wrote in his story about how he left Vietnam.
Those were the people that became the boat people and came to America over boats.
He tried to escape Vietnam many times, and he even got caught by the police, and he had to go to jail for 30 months.
When he was trying to escape, there were very horrible consequences, and his friends that he made were killed in front of him.
I know for my dad, he attempted 3 times to escape Vietnam, and on his 3rd attempt, which was successful, he was on a small fishing boat, 2x10 fishing boat, with 27 other people, 5 liters of water and no food, and they were at sea for 4 days and 5 nights.
8 of us left with nothing. No money, no food, no clothes, all with the hope and dream for a better future. My parents and one of my brothers stayed behind. We silently left the city and headed for Gumtol village.
Left his family pretending to be the nephew of the other family that owned this boat.
We waited there until midnight, so the Viet Cong couldn't see us. We and 62 other boat people loaded on a small fishing boat, so cramped that no one could move. We just sat still, overwhelmed with fear, praying that we would make it safely out of the Vietnamese border.
His journey was long and involved going to so many different stops. His first was an Indonesian oil rig, and then from that he went to another nearby village, and then he went to a temporary refugee island before he finally arrived at the main refugee camp in Indonesia.
My dad was still imprisoned, and it wasn't until he got out that he started a family and married my mom, had my sister. He had to wait 10 years to be able to apply to this humanitarian program that was started so that they would allow him to fly over to the United States.
April 30th. What does it mean to me? It's the darkest day in Vietnamese history. It is a day that affects Vietnamese Americans no matter what the generation.
My mom's story is one that I'll always carry with me.
My dad rarely talked about this when I was growing up because it was really hard for him to talk about his experiences.
Telling me a story, I found it very typical of, the people that had come here from Vietnam.
To me, in the snippets that I heard from my dad when I was growing up, and a lot of the stories come through my mom because my dad didn't want me to hear about the hardships that he had been presented in his life.
But the fact that such a hard journey was so typical for so many Vietnamese people, I think really speaks to the strength of the refugees back then.
It shaped a lot of the way that I've thought about the world and how I treat people, because when I was a lot younger, I didn't really understand how these horrible things could happen and why a certain group could be treated so poorly, because I didn't really understand anything.
Even though I wasn't there firsthand, I'm extremely proud and thankful for everything my parents did.
Looking back at all this, it puts everything into perspective, because I'm here because he made so many sacrifices.
These are the kinds of sacrifices that my dad had to make for me to have the life that I have today.
Even though she's faced so much in her life, she's found a reason to push on and build a life past the tragedy that she's encountered.
Even though I've never had to go through that kind of experience myself, knowing that my family has, knowing that that's the reason I'm, so blessed today, it really leaves a mark on you.
I'm extremely grateful for all the things my parents did for me. They did their best, to give me the best life possible after all the hardships they faced.
And it shows me that I have to fight for what I want and how I want to live my life, but I also want to live a life that makes my dad proud and that his sacrifices weren't for nothing.
After hearing my parents' stories, it is very humbling and it makes me want to do my best so that their hardships won't be wasted.
It's a story that I don't think about often, but when I do, it makes me very appreciative of my life.
Being a first-generation Vietnamese American, it's, in a word, I think it's about hope. Hope is what, gave my parents the strength to come to America. It's what gave many Vietnamese people the strength to come to America and start new lives for their families, and I think that's what being Vietnamese American is to me.
But now I can just know that a lot of people are horrible for no reason at all. And I take that into consideration with my love for my dad.
She's always been my biggest role model. And even when things were really hard in her life, you could never really tell because she's always had that positive attitude that I've really admired. And it's because of her that I've had the opportunities that I've had. It's because of her that I've had the life that I've had. And it's because of her I'm the person that I am, a person that she can be proud of.
The Fall of Saigon was a life-changing day for so many people.
Known to many as the darkest day in Vietnamese history, it will forever be a mark on our pasts.
But within this darkest day, there is a glimmer of light that serves as a reminder to us for the future.
It's a reminder to stay grateful to our parents and all the sacrifice they have made. It is also a reminder to stay hopeful even when it seems as if all hope is lost.
Whether you're a Vietnamese American or not, this day means a lot to this organization that we've come to call our home.
And though these may not be our own personal stories, they are the stories of those closest to us, stories that have shaped many of our own lives.
We felt it was important to not only share their stories, but how they have had an impact on the lives of first-generation Vietnamese Americans, like ourselves and our friends.
And to share a part of our history that we should always remember.
Từ khi tôi chào đời bập bẹ hai tiếng Việt Nam,
yêu quê hương qua từng trang sách hùng vương phủ đông giang
người trải qua bao thời đại thăng trầm theo những buồn vui.
quê hương sau ngày mưa khói tự do hạnh phúc xa vời.
Bạn hãy cùng tôi thắp lên